Hey folks, and welcome to TK Power Sports and RVs. Well, there's no doubt you've seen lots of Sea-Doos before, but you've never seen one like this. And that's because this is the brand new Explorer Pro. This machine is all about going long distances with all of your stuff in total comfort. And we're gonna hit the water and see how it is. Let's jump into the walk around, and there's a ton of things I have to show you on this Explorer Pro. Starting up here at the bow, you're gonna notice this. This is a nice bow rail. I'd call it a bumper. Not only is it nice if you're pulling into a dock and you don't wanna smash up your front end, but if you're on a beach, you can use that to actually pull the machine up. It might not look the sexiest, but I think that's a really smart feature. Now moving back, you're gonna notice this right away. Yes, it's got a windshield. I think this is the first PWC to ever have a windshield, to the best of my knowledge. I can't wait to get out there and see how that thing actually works. Now, as we move back, the other thing which is cool on Explorer Pro are the handlebars. So you actually have this riser, so they're adjustable like that if you want to stand up versus sit down. And then you can also tilt them, and the screen tilts with the handlebars to make sure it always has a nice line of vision for you. Now, the other thing I really love here is this easy to access storage. Check this out. You pull these guys, this whole thing flips open and gives you a monstrous storage bin in here. It's really, really big. You can fit all kinds of stuff down in there. And maybe the best part is that it's gonna be nice and low in the machine to keep your center of gravity down, and you can easily reach it while you're sitting here, so you don't have to reach up and over the handlebars like you used to. That's really smart. Now looking at the gunnels, you get these nice footrests right here on the side of the gunnels. That's for turning sideways and being able to put your feet up there and kind of relax. Or when you're loading on and off the machine, it just makes them a little less slippery too. I like that. Now, of course, we have our standard seat here, but this is really the key to this model, I think, all of the link attachments. So you get an extra link plate, which this cooler or this storage bin and this big bag are attached to. Now, the bag comes standard with this machine, so you're gonna get this massive dry bag. It's also a backpack. The other things you see here are just accessories, but of course, you can go buy as many of these as you want. If you want more fuel, you got a fuel caddy, you got these little storage bins, and the big cooler over here. Again, this is all about bringing all of your stuff. And then at the back, you do get that nice massive boarding step, just in case you're going for a swim on purpose or not, and you need to climb back up. Now, when we're talking about the powertrain here, there's only one in the Explorer Pro. It's 170 horsepower. And the reason they didn't go for the crazy, supercharged power is fuel economy. This model, it's all about going long distances. So they maximize the power without going too crazy. And once again, I can't wait to get out there in the water and feel it. So let's go for a ride. And now, folks, here we are on this Explorer Pro. So the first thing I want to talk about is just the fact that Sea-Doo keeps on trying to reimagine the PWC. It was only a few years ago that they introduced the Fish Pro because they recognized that people were taking their PWCs out and going fishing. So why not build those guys a model? Well, that's exactly what happened here. They realized that a lot of their customers were doing hundreds of miles on the water. They wanted to go from stop to stop, or they wanted to go camping, and they were already doing it. Well, why not cater to them? And we end up with this Explorer Pro. So the first thing you notice is that windshield up there, and I'll show you it on the GoPro. It absolutely works. When you're pulling those tight turns, you get down into the surf, it comes up, and you can see it's a little wet. Yeah, it's because it actually worked. It did keep me dry, which was nice. Not totally dry, but drier than I would have been, of course, which was nice. Now, the other thing about this Explorer Pro, it just feels like this big, comfy couch around you out here in the water. This thing is not the machine you buy to ride crazy aggressive. It's the one you buy to be comfortable over long distances. So what makes it comfortable? Well, first, big wide seat, that's really nice. The adjustable handlebars, again, a big deal. You can see me actually using them here. Not only do they tilt, but they also telescope. So when you stand up, you can bring them right up to yourself. It's a really comfortable standing position on this machine. So the power plant here is a naturally aspirated 1.6 liter engine, and it makes 170 horsepower. Now that's the only way they're gonna offer the Explorer Pro in terms of powertrain. And I think it makes a lot of sense because at 170, it gets up and goes pretty well. It's not a speed demon, but it is more than enough power. It feels well suited to this unit. But then they didn't want to go the supercharged route because then you're going to suck down more fuel. And of course, this is about maximum range. So not only can you fill up the fuel tank, but then you can bring along a fuel caddy. Heck, you could bring along 4 fuel caddies and carry a ton of extra fuel with you to make sure you can stay out on the water for a long period of time. So if that's something that seems like it's interesting to you, going camping, going on a long trip, doing the Great Loop, which you can look up yourself, this is definitely a machine you're gonna wanna look at. So for storage, you see everything on the back, and that massive dry bag, that actually comes standard with this unit. The other things you see back there are just accessories that you could buy, but at-hand storage is also really good. So first of all, you just get this little bin right here between your legs. You can store your phone, your wallet, and this also has a USB port, and the phone holder right here is actually totally waterproof, so you do not have to worry. But then probably the coolest storage is right here. This entire thing lifts up, and I can reach down in here and grab my bow rope or whatever else I need. That's amazing. I used to own a 2015 Sea-Doo GTI myself, and getting to that nose storage while you were on the water was near impossible because you were standing up and reaching over the handlebars. Well, you don't have to do that anymore here. And once again, storage is a key component of this unit, and I think Sea-Doo did a pretty dang good job with it. So straight up in front of me here, you do have a nice digital display, but what I really like is you get this standard Garmin navigation system. Now, it's not just a nav system, it's gonna tell you your depth, you can use it as a fish finder, you can do all sorts of things, and that comes standard. For someone who wants to go explore, that is important. Now, another thing I always like to show off on a big unit like this is stability. So I'm over 300 pounds, and I can stand in 1 foot well, and this thing is not taking on water. Close, but it's not, and that just means it's gonna be ultra stable at slow speeds, especially once you get 1, 2, or 3 riders on here. That's definitely what you want. Now, another thing Sea-Doo did here, on the gunnels, you get these nice footrests. So if you just want to hang out here, it makes it a little bit nicer to sit, and then when you're climbing off, you're not going to slip on there. I definitely like that too. It's all those little attentions to detail that when you're out, again, doing hundreds of miles are going to make a big difference. Well, folks, we are coming to the end of this one. Now, with this Explorer Pro, it's obvious that Sea-Doo is constantly looking to grow the PWC segment in interesting ways that are inspired by how these machines are used, and this is just the latest in a long line of them. Now, if you're interested in the Explorer Pro, you're gonna be paying about $16,700 here in the US, or about 21 grand back home in Canada. So that's it for this one. Now, please go in the comments. Let me know what you think of this beast. As always, while you're down there, don't forget to hit like, hit subscribe, hit join to become a member, and then come back here to TK Power Sports and RVs to see what we're testing next. See ya!